Jesus loved a good party, not for the food, but for the people. He cherished the opportunity to connect, to share stories, and to teach profound lessons in the most unexpected settings. Luke chapter 14 finds him at a banquet, surrounded by the religious elite. These were the Pharisees, the keepers of the law, the ones who prided themselves on their adherence to tradition and ritual. Imagine the scene: fine linens, silver goblets, and an air of self-importance. The room was filled with the aroma of rich foods and the murmur of hushed conversations. The Pharisees, sticklers for the rules, watched Jesus closely. They were always on the lookout for any misstep, any deviation from their strict interpretations of the law. They watched as he healed a man with dropsy on the Sabbath. This act alone was enough to stir controversy, as it challenged their rigid understanding of what was permissible on a holy day. They listened as he challenged their understanding of God's law. Jesus spoke with authority, yet with a compassion that was often missing from their legalistic approach. And they observed as he offered a radical lesson on hospitality. His words were not just a gentle nudge, but a profound call to action. When you give a feast, Jesus instructed his host, do not invite your friends or your brothers or your relatives or rich neighbors. This was a direct challenge to the social norms of the time. Instead, Jesus said, invite those who cannot repay you. This was a call to genuine generosity, to a hospitality that expects nothing in return. Invite the poor, the crippled, the lame, and the blind. These were the marginalized, the ones society often overlooked or shunned. These words must have landed like a shockwave in that room. The guests, steeped in their traditions, were likely taken aback by such a radical idea. Jesus was turning their social order upside down. He was redefining what it meant to be righteous and just in the eyes of God. He was challenging them, and us, to look beyond our comfortable circles, to see the humanity in those we often ignore, to open our hearts and our homes to those who need it most. This was a call to a deeper, more inclusive form of love and community, to practice a hospitality that is rooted not in social climbing but in selfless love, a love that mirrors the unconditional love of God, reaching out to all, especially those who can offer nothing in return. It's easy to invite people who make us feel good about ourselves, those who share our laughter, our joys, and our comfort zones, people who share our social standing, our opinions, our taste in wine. It's natural to gravitate towards those who mirror our own lives. But Jesus calls us to something more, something deeper and more profound. He calls us to reach beyond our comfort zones, to see the invisible, to welcome the outcast, to embrace the marginalized, to extend our hands and hearts to those who are often overlooked. This is not always easy. It requires humility, a willingness to step down from our pedestals. It means setting aside our need to impress and focusing on the needs of others. It means seeing beyond our own desires and recognizing the humanity in everyone. It means opening our hearts to those who are different from us, to those who challenge our perspectives and broaden our horizons. And it means trusting that in giving we receive far more than we could ever give. In reaching out we find a deeper connection, a richer life, and a more profound sense of community. True hospitality is not about the food we serve, but the love we share. It's about creating a space where everyone feels seen, valued, and loved. It's about offering a piece of ourselves, our time, our attention, our compassion. In a world that often feels cold and indifferent, hospitality is a powerful act of resistance. It's a way of saying, you matter, you are welcome here. And it's a way of reflecting the heart of God, who welcomes us all with open arms. Section 4: Living Examples. Throughout history, we see examples of people who embodied this radical hospitality. Mother Teresa, who dedicated her life to serving the poorest of the poor. Martin Luther King Jr., who fought for a world where everyone could sit at the table of brotherhood. And countless everyday heroes who opened their homes and their hearts to those in need. These individuals remind us that hospitality is not a one-time event, but a way of life. It's about seeing the image of God in every person we meet. Section 5: A Timeless Call. This section delves into the enduring message that has transcended centuries, a message that continues to resonate deeply within our hearts and minds. Jesus' words in Luke 14 are as relevant today as they were 2,000 years ago. His teachings on love, compassion, and humility are timeless, offering guidance and wisdom that can help us navigate the complexities of modern life. We live in a world that is increasingly divided, where people are quick to judge and slow to understand. The polarization we see in our communities, our nations, and even within our own families can be disheartening. But we also live in a world that is hungry for connection, for belonging, for love. There is a deep yearning within each of us to be seen, to be heard, and to be valued for who we are. We can be the ones who bridge the divides, by extending a hand of friendship, by listening with empathy, and by acting with kindness. We can create spaces where understanding and unity can flourish. We can be the ones who offer a place of welcome and belonging. Our homes, our communities, and our hearts can become sanctuaries of acceptance and love. We can be the ones who reflect the love of Christ in our homes, our communities, and our world. Through our actions, we can demonstrate the transformative power of faith and compassion. Let us answer the call to radical hospitality, and in doing so, discover the transformative power of humility, selfless love, and the joy of giving. By embracing this timeless call, we can make a profound impact on the lives of those around us and create a ripple effect of positive change that extends far beyond our immediate circles.